when it comes to playing football. For pride and hard-earned money, nobody beats the gamblers, 'cause winning's what we do. Oh, you can't beat a gambler, so you never have to worry. We've got time enough to win it, to make these words come true. 'Cause you gotta know when to hold 'em, never ever fold 'em. Know when to pass the ball, and know when to run. And we know it's never over till the game is over. When you're up against the gamblers, you're playing number one. Well, my attempt to sing that song was so bad, I immediately had to shut off the camera and run to the barber shop and get a haircut, change my appearance, and just pray that nobody sees me on the street and recognizes me. Let me mention that in the corporate environment, there's a lot of brainstorming. You know, there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of possibilities that get explored, and they refine them, they work on them, and when they come up with what they believe is the finished product, they decide whether or not to go forward with it. And a lot of these documents, you know, including this Gambler's theme song here, I think that's exactly what this was. You know, this was a brainstorm just to kind of see how it might work. And the Gamblers retained a company by the name of Taylor, Brown and Barnell, and that's the company that took the Kenny Rogers Gamblers song and reworded it to make it into what we have here. It's very difficult to take a pre-existing song. I mean, Weird Al, I guess, would be the king of this, but his songs are meant to be funny. You take a pre-existing song and you have to keep the medley, you have to keep, you know, the way that the chorus works and the flow of the song, but you have to change the lyrics to be meaningful. And sometimes it's kind of hard to shoehorn, you know, a new meaning into a pre-existing song, and more often than not, it's just not going to work. And in this case, it just didn't. When it comes to playing football for pride and hard-earned money, nobody beats the gamblers, 'cause winning's what we do. Oh, you can't beat a gambler, so you never have to worry. We've got time enough to win it, to make these words come true. And then the chorus goes, the chorus goes, you gotta know when to hold 'em. God. Alright, so the chorus goes, you gotta know when to hold 'em, never ever fold 'em, know when to pass the ball, and know when to run. And we know it's never over till the game is over, and when you're up against the gamblers, you're playing number one. It is what it is. You know, I'm glad that we actually have a record of this, because it's just an interesting footnote. And at the end of the video, I'll go ahead and play the karaoke version of the song, and I'll put the lyrics up, and you can see, you can use your imagination and see how it would have sounded, or if you're enterprising like me, sing it yourself and see how that works out for you. Well, I was able to pick up an interesting item the other day, and it's something I didn't really expect to ever find, but here it is. This is a late 1970s, early 1980s Los Angeles Rams jersey, and it's the number 50, which would have belonged to linebacker Kevin McClain. Now, Kevin McClain was a first-round draft pick of the Rams back in 1976. He was a star linebacker from Colorado State. So the Rams snapped him up with their first-round draft pick in 1976, and he wound up playing with the club through the 1979 season. In the NFL, I'd say Kevin McClain was a good player. He wasn't great, he wasn't an all-pro, but he was a good, solid player, which is one of the reasons why I was surprised to find this jersey, because I don't think retail stores really ever sold Kevin's numbers. You know, they would reserve that for Pat Hayden, the quarterback, you know, or one of the star receivers, or, you know, you see a lot of Jack Youngblood because he's in the Hall of Fame. He was their, you know, star defensive player back then. So you see a lot of number 85s from that era. I've never seen a number 50. And to make things more interesting, this is basically a pro quality jersey. It's got the double sewn shoulder layers on top. It's got the correct heavily screened or vinyl numbers on the front. Sandknit was the company that made these jerseys for the Rams back in the late 70s, early 80s. So this is the correct manufacturer. And actually it has a size 46 tag, which was McLean's size. Also, retail jerseys would normally be small, medium, large, extra large. They normally wouldn't have a numerical size tag. Now, there's a couple of problems with the jersey that aren't normal for the Rams in that era. Normally, you're going to have 2 tags on the bottom, if in the tail here, if they are worn by the actual players. It's going to be double tagged with the size tag on the bottom, and right above this should be what we call an exclusive tag. It should say designed and tailored exclusively for the Los Angeles Rams of the National Football Conference. I have seen actual player jerseys that did not have that exclusive tag, but that's really the exception. Another problem, if you will, the number 5, the font is a little off on this. You can see there's a hard angle, a 90-degree angle right here in the middle of the 5. Normally back then the Rams would wear a 5 that was a little more curved in the middle. You'd have a 45-degree cut right here. And you'd also have actually a small 45-degree cut at the top of this middle of the 5 too. So it'd be a little more rounded. And just imagine kind of this being here also with an extra little cut on the top, 45-degree angle. That was really the more typical 5 that they were using back then. Now, once again, have I seen actual players on the field wearing this style of 5? Well, yes, I have. The bottom line is really how many exceptions can you have on one jersey? I'd like to believe that this jersey was made for McLean. There's just really no way to know. It never made it on the field. We do know that because there is no nameplate. I don't see any evidence of a nameplate ever being sewn on, which back then every player had a nameplate on the back. Shows nowhere. So, is this a salesman sample? Is this some type of prototype? I've also got a theory that maybe this was made for training camp 1980, the year after McLean left, so the jersey didn't get used, because I've seen at least one other exemplar from the 1980 training camp with this font 5 on it, so and with the single tag. Who knows? All I know is I paid a good, fair price for the jersey, and I think for now I'm going to go ahead and call this a retail authentic, even though it kills me to do so, because I know stores weren't selling this quality jersey and this number. The ram horns are really cool on the sleeves too, because the top of the horn is actually sewn into the jersey. It's actually a part of the shirt, whereas the bottom skinnier part of the ram horn has actually been sewn on top of the yellow mesh pattern. So there you go. Really, we're not going to lose any sleep over whether or not this was actually issued to McLean by the team or is just a nice retail authentic. This is the type of thing where you keep an eye open, do your research as time goes on, as you see other jerseys appear on the internet, and hopefully they have some type of provenance that helps tie them into a concrete history, and that can carry over to the jersey that you have sometimes if it's tagged correctly, if it's got the certain type of font, the certain weight. There's 100 things that point to a jersey being the real thing or not, and sometimes you're split right down the middle like we are right now, so we're going to need that extra push to get over the hump, but we're going to keep an eye open on this one. 'Cause you gotta know when to hold 'em, never ever fold 'em, know when to pass the ball, and know when to run, and we know it's never over till the game is over. When you're playing, when you're
It's first down and 10 for the Gamblers at midfield after the interception by Derwood Rockmore. Rockmore's third interception of the year. Kelly rolls out to his right, has some pressure, will throw for it all. Corville, one-on-one, touchdown!
know when to walk away, know when to run. Count your money, sitting at the table, time enough for counting when the dealing's done.